Jay Austin of the Large Lakes Observatory in Duluth, Minnesota, said the record should be broken soon and the extraordinarily cold winter is to blame. Duluth recently set a record with 23 straight days of below zero temperatures. IRN USA Radio News, I'm Jason Wirt.
What is term life insurance? It's basically a financial protection plan for your family if you pass away. It can be a hard purchase. Think about it. It's one of the few major purchases you can make that you will personally never use. But you've got to have it to protect your family. And you owe it to yourself to shop and compare to get the best possible rates. For term life insurance policies of $500,000 or more, call the Term Lifeline today.
800-957-6068. That's 800-957-6068. Remember, we specialize in term life insurance policies of $500,000 or more, and we have great rates for smokers, too. So call today. 800-957-6068. 800-957-6068. That's 800-957-6068.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now, it's Car Concerns with the award-winning new car dealer, Harry Douglas. And now, your car star, here's Harry.
Okay, move everything in just a little bit closer here this morning. Welcome to Car Concerns Radio USA. Let's get started real quick. Hey, this next guest, I've been wanting her on the show for months. Finally, it's happened this morning. It's Katie Kieffer. Katie Kieffer is a columnist and a political commentator. She runs KatieKieffer.com. Katie is the author of the forthcoming book, Let Me Be Clear. Hey, Katie, tell me about that book.
Well, hi, Harry. Thanks for having me on your show this morning. It's so exciting.
I'm so glad to have you here, Katie.
Thank you. The book is coming out July 15th. It will be in stores everywhere, and Random House is publishing it. So it's going to be really fun because it's very sassy, very entertaining, but it's going to be loaded with not just facts about how Obama screwed all the young people who voted for him, basically an entire generation of 95 million young Americans, but it's also going to offer solutions for what we can do to improve things like Obamacare and the economy. Just on Obamacare alone, I surveyed over 300 doctors and surgeons to ask them what they think we can do for Obamacare, because I don't think our politicians in D.C. have come up with enough solutions.
No, I don't either. Hey, let me tell you a little Obamacare story. I've been going to my doctor for 10 years, I guess, Dr. Compton, one of the best doctors I've ever been to, and I've been to several of them in my lifetime.
Okay.
So I see him about 60 days ago at my local CVS, where I shop quite often.
Okay.
And we talk a little bit. He doesn't say anything out of the normal to me, although I am carrying a 18-pack of beer out of the place, and he's caught me. But anyhow.
You can't have cigarettes, though, anymore. Apparently they won't sell those.
I've never done cigarettes. But anyhow, I see Dr. Compton. He's about my same age, and he doesn't say anything out of the normal. Well, my year-end checkup is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I go into the doctor's office, and Dr. Compton is no longer practicing medicine. He didn't say a thing.
Oh, no.
And I suspect that he stopped practicing medicine because of Obamacare.
I'm sure. That's very sad. There's so many wonderful doctors that are quitting or retiring early, or advising their young students, their mentees, their children even, who want to follow in their footsteps to not go on and become doctors. And so we're going to have a huge shortage of talented professionals in the future, and that's another thing that I'm going to address in the book. But that's terrible. We have to find a solution for that, and there are solutions out there, but they don't involve having the government take over that private relationship that you have, for example, with your doctor. You've had that relationship for a very long time, and there's no reason that Obama or politicians in D.C. need to meddle with that relationship.
Yeah, I'm very confident with Dr. Compton, and, I feel like I can go into the office and I can sit down and talk to him about anything. And now I had to see a new doctor, and, it was like a wall was up.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's not good because Dr. Compton knows your health history and you can trust him, and now you have to go somewhere else, and even if you find a good person, they're not familiar with your whole health history, so that's not good.
And like I told the nurse in there, I said, Dr. Compton, he's the only guy I've ever let touch me that way.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah, it can be uncomfortable going to the doctor, and so once you become familiar with a person and you can trust them, you don't want to have to go through that process again with 5 other people.
Hey, Katie, let's talk about your article right here. This one caught my attention. And, usually on Wednesdays I do the healthy driver thing, so we can talk about Obamacare. Hope for a cure to Obamacare. Tell me about that article.
Okay. Well, this is just a little teaser to introduce people to some of the solutions that I'll be really dropping in July. But what really bothered me right before Christmas time, when the Obama administration had the pajama boy. You're familiar with the pajama boy, right? He had his pajamas on. He's sipping hot cocoa, and he's going to sit down at his laptop and sign up for Obamacare, and then everything in his life is going to be perfect. So I was looking at that. And
he hasn't ever had a chance to have insurance before, right?
Right. And I was watching that advertisement, and I was thinking, this kid is a model, an actor. He's getting paid to spread complete lies to other young people and their parents and to scare them to think that they need to sign up for Obamacare. So I did a little digging, and I realized that the Obama administration is basically just unleashing this huge PR campaign to scare parents into convincing their children to sign up for Obamacare, and they were partnering up with AARP
and
to send out
you said celebrities in the article.
Celebrities as well, people like Katy Perry, I believe, and Oprah Winfrey, Lady Gaga. Those were the type of celebrities he was reaching out to, and
his girlfriend Scarlett Johansson.
Right. He has so many
girls. Nobody else will,
mean.
but I will.
So he's reaching out to AARP to send out little e-cards, sort of like you would send from Hallmark to someone, and he's trying to get them to send, or trying to get mothers to send their children e-cards that tell them that you should sign up for Obamacare. And I don't think that our taxpayer dollars should be going to these PR campaigns. If the president wants to promote Obamacare, he can do that on his own, but he should not be partnering up with celebrities and AARP, and he should be spending his time fixing our economy instead of trying to promote his failed agenda. So then I just went on in this article to talk about how Obamacare really destroys friendship and the idea of gratitude and justice in our economy, and it teaches people that they're entitled to something that they did not earn. And that's really a terrible idea to be introducing into our society. For example, if you lend someone $100, then you are justly entitled to receive $100 plus any interest on an agreed-upon time. And this is a form of proper entitlement, but the entitlement that Obamacare introduces is negative because it introduces a perceived right or claim, one that someone did not earn. So I just was comparing it to kind of bringing a little bit of philosophy into this, because I don't think that people think about the philosophical ramifications of Obamacare, and just that it's really destroying the proper idea of justice in society.
Well, we live in a democracy, and free enterprise rules here, and Obamacare. Well, nobody even thinks about it, but Obamacare is the largest tax that's ever been imposed on the American people, and I say that all the time. And and what's your thoughts on that?
Well, it's definitely a tax, and
well, that's the only way they could pass it.
Yeah, but it's unconstitutional too. So it's calling it a tax. I think you almost have to go one step further, because sometimes when you say tax, it almost seems like it's legitimate. I think that it's also unconstitutional, because we should be able to buy health care across state borders, and there's no reason why you're a car guy. You know all about things like car insurance, I'm sure, and why can't we buy health care like we buy car insurance?
Listen, Katie, I know a lot about health care. As a new car dealer for over 25 years, an award-winning new car dealer, at my dealerships, I always made sure that if my employees wanted health insurance, that they got it. And I usually worked with Tennessee Blue Cross Blue Shield, and I've had that insurance myself for 40 years.
Wow.
And guess what? I had to change insurance companies because they no longer could meet the standards for Obamacare.
Yeah, that's terrible. No, a lot of
they were afraid that my wife and I were going to get pregnant, and that's not an option now.
Yeah, it's become so impractical, and health insurance has become so separated from the actual health care. So we need to address that.
Hey, I'm talking to Katie Kieffer. Hey, I've worked hard to get her on the show, and I've got her here this morning. We're going to continue our conversation with Katie right after this short, beautiful break. I'm Harry Douglas. This is Car Concerns Radio. When your money's on the line, call the line that's on the money. 1-855-CAR Concerns. I'm always here for you. Right back after the break.
Geico presents a man who just saved on his motorcycle insurance.
Name's Mark, and this here beastly hog is Princess. Easy, Princess. Slow your roll. So how does this chopper cowboy save on motorcycle insurance, you ask? Easy. I just strapped on my savings chaps called Geico, and bam! I'm saving so much, my Princess, well, she gets treated like a queen.
Geico Motorcycle. See how much you could save.
We already have the lowest prices on flooring, but now you can save even more on every floor in our new catalog at Lumber Liquidator's Spring Flooring Sale. Get the look of hardwood for 49 cents a square foot. Beautiful bamboo for just $139. Plus, get $100 to $500 off over 130 varieties of hardwood, over 50 varieties of laminate, and more. Minimum purchase applies. See store for details. We have over 350 incredibly low-priced floors, and now you can save even more. Hurry, sales going on now. Visit LumberLiquidators.com or your local store today.
Your heart. It powers your body to walk enough stairs in a lifetime to climb the Empire State Building 1,000 times. Your heart is amazing. Take care of it with Centrum Silver. Multivitamins with B vitamins and lycopene to help support your heart. And packed with key nutrients for your eyes and brain, too. Centrum Silver, for the most amazing parts of you.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
All coughs aren't the same, and neither are all cough medicines. Some just suppress your coughs while doing nothing to clear the congestion that causes them. Robitussin's powerful dual-action formula relieves even the toughest coughs. Wet, dry, and hacking. Don't risk partial relief. Fast, powerful Robitussin DM Max fights your cough and helps clear the congestion that comes with it. Robitussin. Don't suffer the consequences. Use as directed.
I just sneaked into my kids' rooms and took temperatures while they're sleeping, thanks to my Exergen thermometer. All I did was swipe their foreheads for a few seconds. It didn't even wake them up. My sister, the nurse, told us about the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer, and it's the best. Real value for the money and truly a lifesaver. Now I don't have to deal with ears or rears, if you know what I mean.
I'm Dr. Frank Pompey, founder of Exergen. Thousands of hospitals and clinics rely on temporal scanners. I'm confident you will too.
The Exergen temporal scanner. Pick one up at Costco and other fine retailers, or visit us at Exergen.com.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS that you can't pay? Call now for immediate help. 866-657-8517. At Community Tax Relief, we help consumers like you. If you take on the IRS alone, you could be facing levies, liens, even wage garnishments, personal or business tax issues. If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more, they will aggressively come after you. Protect yourself and your family today from what the IRS can do to you. Call now. 866-657-8517. They can freeze your bank account, even garnish your wages. Our expert team of tax professionals can solve your tax problems once and for all. Call now for a free 5-minute tax debt analysis. 866-657-8517. 866-657-8517. 866-657-8517.
Got pain? Get Zim's Max Freeze. Zim's Max Freeze. Maximum muscle and joint pain relief. Your solution for temporary relief of aches and pains. Zim's Max Freeze knows your pain and relieves backache, strains, bruises, and sprains. If you're a senior, weekend warrior, or seasoned athlete, get Zim's Max Freeze. Zim's Max Freeze is fast-acting and deep penetrating with no lingering odor. Available at all major retailers.
This is Car Concerns with your host, Harry Douglas. Now, here's Harry.
Okay, here we are back with Car Concerns Radio USA. I'm talking to Katie Kieffer. She is a columnist for townhall.com. Townhall.com. I get their emails every day. You ought to sign up, and you can get Katie's articles right there on your screen. Katie, we're talking about Obamacare.
Yes, that's right.
And it is a abomination to me. But
Obama cancer.
Yeah, Obama cancer. I like that one too. But anyhow, hey, for the longest time we heard the president, 2008 and on, saying if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. If you like your insurance plan, you can keep your insurance plan. And he was lying to us the whole time. How does he get a free ticket on that? When, remember Bill Clinton saying, I did not have sex with that woman? Well, they impeached him over that. How does Obama get a free ride, a free ticket for lying to the American public, selling this Obamacare in such a cunning way?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Obama knows that there's no way Congress is going to impeach the first African-American president. I mean, that's the reason he knows that he can get by with doing a lot of things. And when he was running for president both times, everyone in the media, including the conservative media, sort of held back. I think that GOP actually advised our front runners, including McCain and Romney. They were advised to not go after Obama very hard because the GOP didn't want to be perceived as attacking him because of his race. So the GOP kind of played it a little easy, and then, of course, the mainstream media worships Obama, so he got a free pass that way. And he knows that he's not going to be impeached, unlike Clinton had that fear in the back of his mind. But I think that now the good thing is that most Americans are waking up. That lie that you just mentioned has been rated the worst lie of all time. And so Americans are upset. Obama's approval ratings are tanking. So that is good news. At least we know that Americans are waking up and they're becoming disinterested. And I think the midterm elections are going to be hopefully very good for the Republicans this year. Although Obama did just change Obamacare for the 27th time, as I'm sure you know, this week to try to make things better for the midterms.
And he's gave all his buddies, all his pals who contribute to him and his campaigns, hey, he's gave them all exemptions. Mm-hmm. And that just goes all over me.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing that I am going to uncover in this book is he really got in bed with the drug company, and he pretended like he didn't. And nobody is really talking about that, but there's some very interesting research that I'm uncovering where it shows that Obama didn't care about anyone's health care, and Congress didn't really have a chance to see what was going on. It was just Obama and the drug companies doing this backhanded deal. So you're right about that, but there are solutions, and I think Americans are waking up, and we need to speak out when we have a chance to use our votes this next time around.
Hey, remember Nancy Pelosi getting on TV on CNBC and saying we'll have to pass the bill to see what's in it? That was ridiculous.
Oh, I know. I think she also said that it was going to create 4 million new jobs, and now we're seeing that Obama himself has to keep delaying the employer mandate because it's not going to create any jobs. It's going to kill jobs. So they just will literally say anything to get votes, and hopefully people are waking up finally to understand that politicians, the Democrats in particular, are just lying to us, so we can't trust them.
Now, I didn't open it, but I got an email from John McCain, Senator John McCain, and the heading on the email says, "Help me stop Obamacare." Can that still be done? I mean, Obamacare is a law now. Can they repeal it?
Well, I think that we can let it fail on its own. If we have to call Obama out for the unconstitutional executive orders that he keeps unleashing. I mean, the president, Congress can't pass a bill which, first of all, was unconstitutionally passed, but unfortunately the Supreme Court declared it was constitutional, so that didn't really help us much. But Obama shouldn't be allowed to keep passing executive order after executive order to change this law. So I think that we can call Obama out on that regard. But also, I think that Obamacare, unless Obama keeps changing it unconstitutionally, is going to just fail on its own. And the way to get rid of it, I think, is actually for the GOP to offer some really awesome and better, more practical, pragmatic solutions. So that's what I tried to put together in this book. I think Dr. Ben Carson has also done a fabulous job of starting to talk about some of those ideas as well. These aren't necessarily new ideas. I mean, for example, healthcare spending accounts. Those have been around for a really long time, but people need to articulate them and speak from, I think, the healthcare side, why they're going to improve that doctor-patient relationship and help people who don't have insurance get insurance. And once we lay out those better solutions, then the American public will say, okay, we don't like Obamacare, and we're going to go with this private alternative. And so people will just start walking with their feet.
Katie, Obamacare, it was all about helping people, with catastrophic illnesses and people who didn't have health insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a model running around here in East Tennessee that if you remember, I don't know, you're probably too young, but Stan Brock, he was the sidekick on Wild Kingdom.
Okay.
And he has set up a remote area medical here. It's called RAM in East Tennessee. And what he does is he about 3 or 4 weekends a year, he sets up a medical center in a high school, and he has all these doctors who participate and volunteer to give their time and services. And he sets up this remote area medical about 3 or 4 times a year. They just had one. Poor people from all over come. I mean, he has to turn some people away, but they can do this instead of Obamacare.
Right. Doctors have been volunteering their time for so long, and that's a perfect example of what you just brought up. Doctors are willing to do that. I have a brother who's a medical student right now, and he volunteers his time. He says that his peers are willing to do that as well. So we can definitely solve this crisis, and doctors are willing to become part of the solution.
Hey, Katie, I got a break coming up here. Katie Kieffer, folks, Town Hall columnist. Hey, I've got her right here on Car Concerns Radio, and I'm picking her brain. We'll be right back after the break. I'm Harry Douglas. This is Car Concerns Radio. I'm here for you. Right back after the break.
Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep because someone broke into her apartment and stole all her sheep, not to mention a 50-inch flat-screen TV. Luckily, the Geico Insurance Agency had helped her with renter's insurance, and she got full replacement. She has since trained her sheep to do voice impressions of various attack dogs, and now feels very safe. Visit Geico.com to see how affordable renter's insurance can be.
We already have the lowest prices on flooring, but now you can save even more on every floor in our new catalog at Lumber Liquidator Spring Flooring Sale. Get the look of hardwood for 49 cents a square foot. Beautiful bamboo for just $139. Plus, get $100 to $500 off over 130 varieties of hardwood, over 50 varieties of laminate, and more. Minimum purchase applies. See store for details. We have over 350 incredibly low price floors, and now you can save even more. Hurry, sales going on now. Visit lumberliquidators.com or your local store today.
When you open the door of a 2014 Mercedes-Benz E-Class, you're not just opening the door of one of the world's most advanced automobiles, you're opening the door to an entire automotive philosophy. A philosophy dedicated to bringing forth innovations that forever change the way the world thinks about cars. With stereoscopic vision, for example, the 2014 E-Class can see better than any other car in its class, and it can take action to keep you and those around you safe. When you open the door to the 2014 E-Class, you will experience nothing less than the future of the automobile, which, of course, closes the door to any other choice. The 2014 E350 Sport Sedan starts at just $51,900. Test drive one today.
MSRP for a 2014 E350 Sport Sedan excludes all options, taxes, title, registration, transportation charge, and dealer prep. Options, model availability, and actual dealer price may vary. Some equipment described as optional. See dealer for details.
See your local authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for a test drive today, or visit MBUSA.com for exceptional offers on many Mercedes-Benz models.
Staples has great deals on everything you need to launch a startup from your garage. From computers and smartphones to 3D printers and tablets. Everything.
Our business is going to be huge.
Mom! Again?
Except permission to use the garage. Thousands of products added online every day. Now get a $25 Staples gift card via Easy Rebate when you buy a tablet. Staples. Make more happen.
Offer ends 2/22/14. Excludes clearance and e-readers. Customers submit Easy Rebates online. Learn more at StaplesEasyRebates.com. Terms and conditions apply. See cards for detail.
Hot plates, cool stories. Share both this winter at P.F. Chang's. Gather your friends and try one of the 6 dishes on our new winter seasonal menu, like the savory red wine and pepper braised beef, or the orange ginger beet salad with fresh oranges and honey ginger dressing. And for a limited time, visit pfchangs.com and get an offer for $10 off a $40 purchase. See you soon.
If you're watching your wallet like most of us, then here's a family vacation offer from Caribbean Cruise Line. Imagine your family on a luxurious vacation to the Bahamas, including your cabin, all your meals, full spa, casino, live entertainment, 3 kids clubs, a kids water park, and more. Now imagine getting this amazing vacation deal for only $59 per person. This cruise has a full retail value of $500, and it's yours for just $59. We guarantee your family will love this vacation offer, and you'll love the price at just $59 per person for a $500 all-inclusive cruise to the Bahamas. Call right now. Book your cruise vacation. Space is limited. Call 800-364-3105, 800-364-3105, 800-364-3105, 800-364-3105.
Got pain? Get Zim's Max Freeze. Zim's Max Freeze. Maximum muscle and joint pain relief. Your solution for temporary relief of aches and pains. Zim's Max Freeze knows your pain and relieves backache, strains, bruises, and sprains. Pains. If you're a senior, weekend warrior, or seasoned athlete, get Zim's Max Freeze. Zim's Max Freeze is fast-acting and deep penetrating with no lingering odor. Available at all major retailers.
Geico presents a man who just saved on his motorcycle insurance.
What up? Evan here. Question. You like apples? I'll get to that in a minute. First, check out my motorcycle. Flames? Yep. Saddlebags? Yep. Room for two? Negatory! Sorry, ladies. I ride solo. Now, wait for it. How you like them apples? Aw, don't cry. Insuring this beast was crazy easy. Called Geico and boom, saved enough to buy a sidecar. Now, if you dry your tears, I might just let you ride in it.
Geico Motorcycle. See how much you could save.
This is Car Concerns with your host, Harry Douglas. Now, here's Harry.
Okay, one of the subjects that I talk about on this show quite a bit, because if you think about it, they're all American motorists, but we've got veterans out there who can't find a job. And Katie, I see an article that you wrote here, Veterans, Thank You, Thank You. Talk a little bit about that article, Katie.
Well, growing up, I've always had a great deal of respect for veterans. Both of my grandfathers were veterans, and they would tell me their stories. And so I just, and POWs also in particular, whenever I would see that flag, it would really touch me for some reason, because I thought, there's these people out there that are still lost or have suffered. And so we need to honor these people. And when at the end of last year, shortly before Thanksgiving, when our current administration shut down many of the veterans memorials on the National Mall,
right.
It really angered me, because I've been to Washington, D.C. many times, seen all the memorials, and I personally know a veteran, he's a good friend of mine, who went on what is called an honor flight. And an honor flight is a privately sponsored flight where big companies, such as, I think, Target, for example, will sponsor these flights of veterans from all different states to go out to Washington, D.C. and look at their memorials. Many of these veterans are disabled, they're walking with canes or wheelchairs, and this is the first time in their life that they've ever seen their memorial, and probably the last time in their life that they ever will have a chance to see it, given their condition health-wise. And so these flights were going out to D.C., and they were unable to actually see their own memorial. For example, many Korean veterans were completely barred from seeing their memorial, and then World War II veterans were able to get into their memorial, but it wasn't lit up, and it wasn't the fountain, which is, if you've ever seen the World War II memorial, there's a huge fountain right in the middle of it, and it's literally the centerpiece of that memorial, and it makes it so beautiful, but that fountain was turned off. And I just think it was absolutely tragic and ridiculous that here we had an administration that let illegal immigrant advocates prance about on the National Mall and sing and dance, but our own veterans who sacrificed their blood for this country were unable to actually, for the one time in their life, get to see their memorial in its full grandeur.
I tell you what, I remember that as well. I remember seeing those barricades. They actually had cement barricades up to keep those veterans from going around that memorial, right?
Right. That is just, so wrong when you think about it. We're preventing the men who fought for our country, who without them we wouldn't have those memorials in the first place. None of us would even be here. And so why are we not letting them see their memorials? They're the most, qualified or to see those, and they just weren't able to. It just makes me so mad. So I wrote this article, and many veterans wrote in and said that they enjoyed it. It was nice to have someone, a young person in particular, say thank you to them, because they sometimes don't know whether their sacrifice was appreciated. And I think it's important that if you see a veteran, just go up to them, even if you don't know them, and tell them thank you. Or if you see someone in the airport who, is serving our country currently, go up to them and say thanks. And you'll really make their day and let them know that everything that they went through is worth it.
What I've found, Katie, is a lot of our veterans who come back and war's a traumatic thing. And they come back and they need jobs, and a lot of them are a part of the unemployment rate.
Yep. So you're currently working on that? Is that what you're saying?
I am working with the Veterans Administration down in Nashville. What brought my attention to this about a year ago? I was in Nashville doing one of my car buyer. I do these car buyer sales meetings, where I help people who are about to go buy and enter the car shopping market, give them tips on how to get a good deal. And I was about to speak to a group, and I had some time to kill before I did, and I stopped at a McDonald's on West End to get me some coffee because I like McCaff coffee. I'll pay $1 for McCaff coffee versus Starbucks, which will charge you $2.50 or $3. But anyhow, I went into this McDonald's, and I noticed it was pretty empty, except I could tell that there was a group of veterans in there. I mean, some were in wheelchairs. And I went over there and talked to these guys, and these were Vietnam vets. And they're homeless. They're homeless Vietnam vets.
Oh, no.
And they hang around this McDonald's because the manager at McDonald's will give them food.
Oh, my gosh.
I said, where do you live? They live in the park that is adjacent to this McDonald's. It's horrible.
That's tragic. That should not be happening in this country. It's just completely ridiculous. So what are they, is there a movement to help them out right now?
Well, right there on the Vanderbilt campus is the Veterans Administration. So I've been in contact with them. And a lot of these guys, you could clean them up, and I could get them a job selling cars. I mean, you don't have to be a frigging genius to sell a car.
Well, that's wonderful. That's so inspiring to hear that you're out there on top of everything else that you already do, trying to help these veterans.
So on this article here, you said you're tired. You're talking about Iraqi and Afghanistan veterans. They've been deployed so many times.
Right. Right now we have a situation where one U.S. service member commits suicide every day. They've been repeatedly deployed. Many of them are dealing with PTSD. Some of them are actually redeployed even though they have PTSD.
Right.
And so they just have so many wounds, both physical and emotional, not to mention the toll that this is taking on their families and the relationships that they have with their families. It's hard to maintain those relationships with your wife, girlfriend, children, when you never get to see them and they're constantly worried about you. And that's just too much to ask. And I think that President Obama deserves a lot of blame for this because he is responsible for the surge in troops to Afghanistan. And things just keep going on forever over there. And we have to realize that our troops are tired. We need to bring them home. We can't stay over there forever. And we also need to take care of them in terms of their benefits. Before we're worried about the illegal immigrants and making sure that they have free college educations, maybe we should worry about the Vietnam veterans who are getting their breakfast at McDonald's.
And sleeping in the park next to this McDonald's. It's a war memorial park in Nashville on West End. If you're ever in Nashville, just go to that McDonald's and you'll see these guys here, especially very early in the morning.
Oh my gosh, that's just ridiculous.
Some of them are in wheelchairs. I mean, it's just it's really pitiful, and to me they're forgotten. I think they're the forgotten veterans.
Right. I think that's particularly true about the Vietnam vets because no one thanked them. And the thing that people forget sometimes is that troops don't have a choice of where they serve. They go wherever they are asked to go, and so you can't blame them whether you agree with the war or disagree with the war. You can't blame them. They were courageous no matter where they served because they did their duty and they did it with courage.
Well, I tell you what, I didn't agree with the Iraqi war. I didn't agree with the Afghanistan war. I'm a Republican, and I gave George Bush hell on this show for what he did to us in Iraq.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and good for you.
And one of the topics I talk about on this show here recently, and these vehicles would be great on the streets in Iraq because they're still having car bombings every single day over there. Would be these exploding Jeep Cherokees, 92, 93, 94, 95 Jeep Cherokees and Jeep Patriots, which on our streets in America here, when they're involved in a collision, they explode upon the collision. I mean, 58 people have died in these, Katie. And
oh my God!
Anyhow, we'll talk about it on the other side of the break. I'm Harry Douglas. Here comes the break, whether I like it or not.
I just sneaked into my kids' rooms and took temperatures while they're sleeping, thanks to my Exergen thermometer. All I did was swipe their foreheads for a few seconds. It didn't even wake them up. My sister, the nurse, told us about the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer, and it's the best. Real value for the money and truly a lifesaver. Now I don't have to deal with ears or rears, if you know what I mean.
I'm Dr. Frank Pompey, founder of Exergen. Thousands of hospitals and clinics rely on temporal scanners. I'm confident you will too.
The Exergen temporal scanner. Pick one up at Costco and other fine retailers, or visit us at Exergen.com.
We already have the lowest prices on flooring, but now you can save even more on every floor in our new catalog at Lumber Liquidator Spring Flooring Sale. Get the look of hardwood for 49 cents a square foot. Beautiful bamboo for just $139. Plus, get $100 to $500 off over 130 varieties of hardwood, over 50 varieties of laminate, and more. Minimum purchase applies. See store for details. We have over 350 incredibly low price floors, and now you can save even more. Hurry, sales going on now. Visit lumberliquidators.com or your local store today.
When a cold hits, you've got to hit back. And when your cold comes with both pain and sinus pressure, you've got to hit back even harder with Advil Congestion Relief. Only Advil Congestion Relief delivers a powerful 1-2 punch at pain and sinus pressure, combining the power of Advil, the #1 selling pain reliever, with a proven nasal decongestant, all in a single pill. So when colds hurt, choose Advil Congestion Relief. Use as directed. Available at Walmart.
Robitussin Cofequince number 29, the not-so-silent night.
Sorry, hon.
Oh, you keep waking me up.
I think that's...
Come on, it's 3 a.m. I gotta get up for work in 4 hours.
Fortunately, Robitussin DM Max now comes in a new nighttime formula for fast, powerful cough relief that helps you sleep like a baby, which is good news for you and the person one pillow over. Robitussin Nighttime. Don't suffer the consequences. Use as directed.
What is term life insurance? It's basically a financial protection plan for your family if you pass away. It can be a hard purchase. Think about it. It's one of the few major purchases you can make that you will personally never use. But you've got to have it to protect your family. And you owe it to yourself to shop and compare to get the best possible rates. For term life insurance policies of $500,000 or more, call the Term Lifeline today.
800-957-6068. That's 800-957-6068. Remember, we specialize in term life insurance policies of $500,000 or more, and we have great rates for smokers, too. So call today. 800-957-6068. 800-957-6068. That's 800-957-6068.
Hot plates, cool stories. Share both this winter at P.F. Chang's. Gather your friends and try one of the 6 dishes on our new winter seasonal menu, like the savory red wine and pepper braised beef, or the orange ginger beet salad with fresh oranges and honey ginger dressing. And for a limited time, visit pfchangs.com and get an offer for $10 off a $40 purchase. See you soon.
Staples has great deals on everything you need to launch a startup from your garage. From computers and smartphones to 3D printers and tablets. Everything.
Our business is going to be huge. Mom! Again?
Except permission to use the garage. Thousands of products added online every day. Now get a $25 Staples gift card via easy rebate when you buy a tablet. Staples. Make more happen.
Offer ends 2/22/14. Excludes clearance and e-readers. Customers submit easy rebates online. Learn more at StaplesEasyRebates.com. Terms and conditions apply. See cards for detail.
When you open the door of a 2014 Mercedes-Benz E-Class, you're not just opening the door of one of the world's most advanced automobiles, you're opening the door to an entire automotive philosophy. A philosophy dedicated to bringing forth innovations that forever change the way the world thinks about cars. With stereoscopic vision, for example, the 2014 E-Class can see better than any other car in its class, and it can take action to keep you and those around you safe. When you open the door to the 2014 E-Class, you will experience nothing less than the future of the automobile, which, of course, closes the door to any other choice. The 2014 E350 Sports Sedan starts at just $51,900. Test drive one today.
MSRP for a 2014 E350 Sports Sedan excludes all options, taxes, title, registration, transportation charge, and dealer prep. Options, model availability, and actual dealer price may vary. Some equipment described as optional. See dealer for details.
See your local authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for a test drive today, or visit MBUSA.com for exceptional offers on many Mercedes-Benz models.
This is Car Concerns with your host, Harry Douglas. Now, here's Harry.
Okay, here we are back with Car Concerns Radio USA. Hey, forget the roses. You know, in a couple of days, it's going to be Valentine's Day. And Katie says, forget the roses. This Valentine's Day, give her a gift that shows that you love her whole body and soul. Give her a gun. Katie, tell me about this article. Give her a gun for Valentine.
That's right. I'd much rather have a gun than a bouquet of roses that are going to wilt and fade in a week. And I think that if you're looking for a last-minute gift to give to your sweetheart, you should definitely consider giving her a gun. Now, I go into the details of that in the article because, of course, I don't think that you should just hand someone who has never used a gun before a Glock or a pink AR-15 and say, hey, honey, you're happy Valentine's Day. I think that you should also make sure that you give her some sort of education. So maybe that would be a gift card to get some kind of self-defense training, or you could go with her to the range just to make sure that she knows how to use that tool of self-defense before she uses it. But women should have the ability to defend themselves from sexual assault, and what could be a better way to do that than with the best tool available in modern technology, which would be a firearm.
And, you know, she has the right to carry that gun, a constitutional right, right?
Oh, yeah. Even if the Constitution didn't exist, you have a right to defend yourself just because of the fact that you're a human being and you own your body. You have a right to your private property, and the first piece of private property that you own coming into this world is your body. So you have a right to defend that against lethal force or threat of lethal force. And the Constitution acknowledges that natural human right that we all know that we have because of reason. And it's unfortunate that so-called constitutional experts like President Obama don't want to defend that natural and constitutional right. But we have to take things into our own hands, and I think that getting more women to support the Second Amendment and support that right is a first step to do that.
Here in Tennessee, about a year ago, I want to say, they passed a law. I don't know if it passed or not, but it was on the floor down at the Tennessee Capitol, and I was talking to my state senator, Stacey Campfield, who was pushing for this amendment. a law that would allow you to carry a gun and keep it in your car at work. What do you think about that, Katie?
I mean, I think that sounds like a good idea from the little I know about it. Concealed carry, for example, and this what you're mentioning is a little bit different from concealed carry, but that's the only law that's actually been shown to reduce crime and keep women in particular safe from sexual assault and violence. So I think any regulation or rule that would give people more freedom with regard to using firearms is a good thing.
I tell you what, I couldn't go along with that law because as a new car dealer, I used to work with about 36 to 40 salespeople, and they're new car salespeople are a pretty high-strung group of people. And when arguments break out, and it would horrify me to think that one of those salesmen could go out to their car and bring a gun back in and just start shooting on the showroom. Well, I mean, criminals are always going to get their hands on guns, but I mean, I don't think that we should assume that people. I'm not talking about criminals here. I'm talking about car cons. I know, but I don't think that we should assume that even that a high-strung person is a criminal. Oh, I don't assume he's a criminal, but I do know that he has a threshold to get him mad. And some of those people, when they get mad, they do unrealistic things. Well, they would, if it was that kind of person. I can see what you're saying, but I also think that if someone were really that violent and angry, they would probably find a way to get a gun in the car anyway, and they wouldn't care whether the law said you could have it or not. So I don't think, just look at gun-free zones in schools. There's a law that says you can't bring a gun into a school, but that doesn't seem to stop crazy people from bringing guns into schools. No, that worries me big. My daughter's a teacher, and that worries me big time. For sure, that's just a sign that says go ahead. You have employees all the time down at the post office. That's a favorite phrase: going postal. Right. I spend a great deal of time talking about gun-free zones and guns, actually, in the book, and did a ton of research on that, and I think that will be really interesting to people because we have to, it's not just about the gun laws, it's also about healing these people who are crazy and are committing these crimes because they're all crazy and have mental issues, and so I'm trying to help people find ways to do that as well. Well, I think we need to check these mental cases and make sure that they don't get guns in their hands, but I know it's hard to do. Here's an article that you wrote, Let Women Carry Concealed Firearms on Campus. So you're a big gun advocate, right? Definitely. I grew up in a gun family, and everyone hunted, and so I saw firsthand that guns are not dangerous. If you respect them, if you view them as a tool, it's just like a hammer, just like a fork or a spoon. There's no difference. It's only the person and how they treat that tool. And so I definitely think that on campus, given the fact that 1 in 5 college students is sexually assaulted, that we need to make sure that women have a means to defend themselves. And one suggestion I have would be to allow women who are, of course, trained in using a firearm properly to be able to carry that firearm concealed on campus. I got to disagree with you there. What about the female on campus who is, there's a time of month every month that women get a little bit off edge there. And what if something triggered her and she shot her professor? Oh, my gosh, Harry, that's so sexist. I'm sorry it happens. Well, I'm sorry, but I've met quite a few men who seem like they're PMSing every month or every day of the week. Agreed. So, but I think that it's just having that
threat where if there's a guy prowling around campus looking for easy targets, which has happened, if he knows that there might be someone there who has a concealed carry permit, he's not going to be likely to do that. And women are just as rational or irrational as men, but I think if you go through training and you're properly trained in the use of the firearm, it's okay.
Hey, folks, I have been talking this hour with Katie Kieffer. I have worked hard to get her on the show, and she's here. Katie, I hope you'll come back. Katie Kieffer.
I'd love to. Thanks for having me on.
At townhall.com. Townhall.com. You should subscribe, and they'll land in your inbox once a week. Anyhow, Katie, thanks for being with me on Car Concerns Radio. I'm Gary Douglas.